All over the planet Vegeta, an incredible power would be made even the planets that would nearly rumble. That's right, a Saiyan baby had been born with an exorbitant power. So much was his power that this time all the trackers had exploded when trying to measure his power. But something strange was that this Saiyan seemed to have been born with the shape of an Ozaru. However, in the same way, he retained several human traits, which surprised the doctors who observed such a phenomenon. Even his father Bardock, who was a low-class Saiyan, he was very surprised of all the power that was being released by his son.
How is this possible? Yes, Ginyu and I are low-class warriors, but I have no doubt that he's my son, since his face is identical to mine.
All these rumors would even reach King Vegeta, who was furious knowing that a new Saiyan had been able to overcome the power of his little son. Given the order to eradicate that little warrior, several soldiers in charge of King Vegeta would come to end the life of the baby, which, despite possessing an incredible power, would not be able to defend himself, having only a few days of birth. But on the way, they found their father, Bardock.
I know this stupid King Vegeta would try to end the life of my dear son, since he can't stand that baby, has even outgrown his power.
The soldiers, sent without any words, had launched against Bardock confident, because Bardock, despite being a warrior, was considered low class. Energy spheres would be thrown, causing great chaos around the place, but Bardock, with all his experience, was able to end the life of each of the soldiers who tried to end the life of his beloved son. However, he had not come out immune to being several soldiers.
That was a complex thing, but I plan to give even my life as long as Kakarot's fate is different. I trust that he'll finish with that damn Frieza.
However, a much more powerful warrior than the rest would stand in front of Bardock, which had even surprised him because he was one of the trusted soldiers of the powerful Frieza.
What the hell? Why the hell are you attacking me? Well, we've fulfilled each other out of the orders of the great Frieza. You must know, we can't risk that the legendary Super Saiyan is born, and we know that a child has been born with a great power that even surpasses the elite warriors. But don't feel bad, because in the same way the great Frieza would finish with you.
But the warrior was able to throw a powerful energy attack from his mouth, with which he was almost able to end Bardock's life.
Apparently it didn't even help me to warm up. I better come back with the great Frieza, because soon they will start with the fireworks of the planet Vegeta.
The warrior would quickly leave. However, Bardock, among the bodies of the other warriors, was able to stand up, but his whole body was in terrible condition. Even his power had fallen to the lowest, expelling large amounts of blood, because that attack was almost able to end his life.
My body hurts too much. I feel like I'm about to die, but I'm not gonna let Kakarot's fate be cut off. He still can't defend himself.
Bardock with his ship would arrive quickly to the recovery capsules, in which after spending only 5 hours, he was able to recover completely. Dressing quickly, going to where his wife Ginyu was. Bardock, I'm glad you're here. Kakarot's power had been so much, he'd been considered the most powerful warrior on the whole planet Vegeta, but his appearance is rare.
No, Ginyu, there's no time for any of this. You have to quickly switch to Kakarot, which tonight we'll send to planet Earth.
What did you say? I can't believe you mean it. I know you're saying warrior, but little Kakarot's just a baby. He won't be able to defend himself.
Believe me, Ginyu, on that planet Earth he'll have more chances to flee. You and I will be the decoy, because if that damn Frieza realizes we're not on the planet, he'll finish with us.
Bardock, please calm down. What are you talking about?
Ginyu, I wasn't able to come back yesterday, since the cursed King Vegeta sent soldiers to finish with Kakarot, but I was able to defeat them. But Kakarot's powers even reached Frieza's ears, and I wasn't able to do anything against his warrior.
Ginyu was surprised by everything Bardock said, but she would be taken out of her thoughts.
So Ginyu, I only ask that you trust me. We have to send Kakarot to planet Earth, since there's no warriors there that we can, although the power is incredible.
I hope that you're wrong, Bardock, but if you're sure, let's do it. When the night came, Bardock and Ginyu had encapsulated Kakarot in a ship bound for the planet Earth, in which his parents observed their little son for the last time.
You have to survive, Kakarot. I trust you. I know that you'll become the most powerful Saiyan of all time.
We promise to come to you, dear son, so survive. You arrive in your body the most powerful blood of this entire solar system. You are a powerful elite Saiyan. The ship had left the planet Vegeta, heading to an incredible speed towards the planet Earth. which at the moment of colliding with the planet would arrive towards a rocky area of the planet, in which instantly an old man was passing by the place, noticing a great light.
What is this great light? Is there supposed to be absolutely nothing around these places?
The grandfather named Gohan would approach towards the great light, being surprised to realize that it was a simple baby, but when he got much closer, he was surprised since he would realize that he was not an ordinary baby, since he had fur all over his body. Grandfather Gohan would take a few steps to leave, but he would return since he was unable to leave an abandoned baby. So Grandfather Gohan would take him to Case to raise him completely. However, Kakarot's behavior was very explosive, because the instinct of the Saiyans ran through his whole body, which was to destroy everything in his path. One day, in which both were of a great precipice, Kakarot would fall by the abyss, having a big blow on the head, which would make his behavior change completely. He wanted to continue training and become more powerful, but his thirst for destruction had completely ceased.
Now I remember, I haven't named you. I hope you'll excuse this poor old man, but I'll call you Goku.
The days passed until on a full moon Goku would be observed to completely. Something very unusual happened. That's right, because even though Goku was in his Super Saiyan Phase 4, Goku was able to access an Ozaru, but this time it was of a golden color. While his power was incredible, he would begin to destroy everything around him. Grandpa Gohan, not knowing that it was Goku, would try to stop him with his best techniques, but Goku, possessing control in said transformation, would not be able to do absolutely anything, ending with the life of his grandfather. Thus, the night and the days had passed in which Goku, on this occasion, would become much more powerful, and would be able to defeat each of his enemies with great ease, since his power was incredible for his part. In the ship of the Emperor of Evil, Frieza, he was very thoughtful.
I feel that something is not right, but I have nothing to worry about. I have been able to end the life of that pathetic baby who was born with a great power.
My lord, is there anything bothering you? If that's the case, let me tell you that you count on me for absolutely everything, my lord. You have nothing to worry about.
I thank you, soldier, but I'm just thinking, so don't worry.
Returning to planet Earth, a few years had already passed in which Goku would be able to become good friends. He even had a son, called him the same way Gohan had his father. However, all over the planet Earth, in the same way a Saiyan ship had arrived in search of Kakarot. That's right, it was his older brother, Raditz.
What the hell is he supposed to be? How is it possible that this useless one from Kakarot didn't just destroy this planet? At the moment, I'm planning to finish with it.
Raditz, with the help of the tracker, was able to locate the most powerful warrior of the entire planet Earth. And when Goku was not able to hide his power completely, he would be perceived by Raditz, who would quickly arrive at Kame House, which was the place where he was. Goku, realizing that the warrior in front of him even exceeded the power of Piccolo, would observe him intently, but would not put himself on guard since for Goku he was a Moor.
I don't know who the hell you are, but you better get out of here if you don't want to die.
Don't say stupid things. Even if you don't remember it, I'm your older brother, so I'm much more powerful than you.
You're just another insect if I compare you to my true power, so go away.
If you disobey your older brother, I'll have to teach you good manners. And for that, I'll take your son, who I'm able to notice that in his veins runs the Saiyan blood. Raditz would move at a great speed, but for Goku it was nothing, because at that precise moment, Goku was able to hold him tightly by the neck, making him fall. But before causing much more damage in Kame House, this, with great speed, would take him to an inhospitable place in which instantly he would throw him towards a few mountains, creating a great destruction all around.
Now, yes, there's no one here, so tell me, what the hell do you want?
Were Mom's words even true? You were born with the power of an elite class warrior craves. But Raditz, without letting himself be defeated so easily, had thrown himself against Goku. However, the exchange of blows only lasted 40 seconds, in which Raditz wasn't able to do absolutely anything against Goku. While for his part, Raditz had bruises all over his body, because the blows that Goku had connected to him were of overwhelming power. So Goku, with a slight blow to his stomach, was able to make him fall, creating a big explosion, leaving Raditz on the verge of death.
Oh, damn. I seem to have overdone it with that punch. I didn't want him to die.
Goku would immediately approach Raditz, stretching out one of his hands, beginning to transmit a little of his energy to him so that he's not in mortal danger.
At this moment, I want you to explain to me the reason why you've come to planet Earth. What is it that you want?
Okay,
I'm really not able to do anything against you, so I'll tell you everything.
Raditz would tell everything that had happened since the explosion of the planet Vegeta, as even his parents had sacrificed themselves so that Kakarot would be able to reach the planet Earth, while Bardock, his father, had total confidence that Kakarot would be able to defeat the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza, who was the cause of the destruction of the planet Vegeta. I understand from where you are giving me to understand. You want me to join you so that you'll be able to defeat that Frieza. Indeed, if you really have the power to surpass the elite class Saiyans, we're sure that with you, our victory of chance increases greatly. I'll help you, but I want you to know something. I plan to only fight against that bastard, because since I already arrived on this planet, no warrior's been able to give me a good battle. But against Frieza, that'll be impossible for you. The conversation of both would be interrupted by the Prince of the Saiyans. Raditz, if you've been able to convince your brother, go to the planet Namek. Since the cursed Frieza has been able to discover the spheres of that place are capable of granting him immortality. My Saiyan blood boils with emotion. If you don't accept my condition, I'll also go on my own to the planet Namek since I have heard everything. Okay, I accept your condition. Now let's leave this place. We have to go quickly. Raditz was able to take one more out of the spaceships, so at the moment Goku would say goodbye to each of his friends, leaving for the planet Namek, where he would meet for the first time with the cause of the extinction of his race. For his part, the evil Emperor had already been able to reach the planet Namek, and with the help of his soldiers was able to get 2 of the 7 Dragon Balls, but hundreds of inhabitants of the planet had died. This damn feeling continues, even though it's been years, so I have to get a hold of immortality. I'll be able to even destroy the damn Beerus. For their part, Goku and Raditz were also heading at high speed towards the planet Namek, where both Saiyans Vegeta and Nappa were. Quickly, 7 days passed in which Goku and Raditz were able to reach the planet Namek, but the moment they arrived, they realized that Prince Vegeta was in terrible condition and on the verge of death. Since Frieza had requested the presence of his most powerful warriors, these warriors were the elite of the Emperor of Evil, Frieza. No, damn, we won't be able to do anything against Frieza's elite. Those guys wouldn't even be able to call warriors, because they're extremely weak. Goku, by raising his power a little, was able to almost destroy the planet Namek, while everything around him began to crack, just like all the trackers on the planet were completely destroyed because that power was gigantic. Goku had been able to make the whole planet Namek shudder, because his power seemed to have no limit. Frieza's gaze would change completely because the pressure he felt was incredible, since Frieza wasn't able to feel the power of his enemy, but of the incredible pressure that spread throughout the planet. No! Whose incredible power is this? The evil Emperor had panicked when he had felt all the incredible power. For his part, Goku was able to get in front of the warriors who were almost capable of ending Vegeta's life. Goku, watching him, was able to throw one of his seeds, which were able to recover all the vitality of the user. And Vegeta, being a Saiyan, was able to get an incredible increase in power, being equally surprised to realize the appearance that Saiyan had. So this is the Saiyan that everyone's talking about. I can't believe it. It really has been an incredible power. Although I'm not able to feel it, my body is shaking. Goku would begin to walk towards the enemies, which were the 4 warriors, and they belonged to the elite of Frieza, which without caring about anything began to mock. But among them all, his captain was able to just as well take a step forward. You have no right to mock. I'm sure this warrior is capable of giving battle to me, so you wouldn't be able to do anything against him. Don't underestimate yourself, since your power is absolutely nothing compared to my true power. Even that guy named Frieza doesn't possess a power that amazes me. Damn, you dare talk to the mighty Frieza like that? He's the emperor of the whole universe. There's no warrior more powerful than he. Goku having much more power, he was able to move at an incredible speed against Ginyu, being able to end his life with a slight blow to the chest. That's right, the most powerful warrior had fallen to Goku with a single blow, so the trio of warriors would try to flee. Do you think they can run away? Planetary attraction! An incredible force of gravity would begin to drag all the warriors to where Goku was, and being a few centimeters away, the warriors tried to attack, being in vain, because at that moment, Goku, with expelling his aura in the elite form of fire, was able to completely evaporate them, leaving absolutely nothing. Raditz, were these weaklings really the elite of the guy named Frieza? Of course, Kakarot. You've surprised me. I didn't think you'd be able to finish everyone at once.
How great is your power?
But while Goku was approaching, he had quickly noticed how a beam of energy was heading towards Raditz and Vegeta. So Goku, with a fist of wind, was able to send them flying, which would cause Vegeta's fury.
I know you're much more powerful than me, but I have no plans to let you disrespect me. I'm the Prince of the Saiyans, you worm.
But even surprised to realize that Frieza was in front of them. That's right, the time Frieza hadn't even accessed his final form, with which his power was surprising for the Saiyans who were there. However, it was not surprising at all for Goku.
So you're the Saiyan who's been able to be born with a power that even surpassed the elite Saiyan warriors. I'll give you my offer. Join my army and become the absolute commander.
It's a pity I don't like to take orders from anyone, and I only came to this planet to be able to realize that you are able to make me use all my power.
In that case, I'm planning to end your existence. You won't get out of this place alive. I'll use all my power.
Frieza rushed against Goku, with their battle beginning to cause devastation all around him. That's right, hundreds of lightning bolts were released by each of his fists. However, Frieza's arms were trembling because of the power that Goku was able to use each of his blows. Unlike Goku, he was only using a small part of his true power, so he had no difficulty in keeping up with Frieza. However, Goku, to increase his power a little more, he would start to grant him thousands of blows all over his body, which, when Frieza would fall to the ground, would expel large amounts of blood.
Oh, damn. I feel like my body's collapsing. I can't lose against this ape. You are of an inferior race to me.
It doesn't seem like to me that I'm inferior to you, since you're the one eating dust, not me. So stand up and let's keep fighting. I can't see what my eyes are watching. Even all of us try to do something only to be the Frieza's elite, and we're completely defeated. At this moment, there's no doubt whatsoever. Really, Kakarot's the legendary Super Saiyan that was talked about so much. Father, your sacrifice has not been in vain.
Goku would begin to approach Frieza, while a much more powerful pressure would fall on his entire body, causing several of his bones to break completely. On the other hand, in the ship of the evil Emperor, one of his soldiers would notice that Frieza's symptoms were beginning to decrease rapidly, so he would quickly communicate with the powerful King Cold, as well as with his brother Cooler. So both emperors in the same way began to go to the planet Namek.
I can't believe a single warrior would be able to beat the crap out of Frieza. But now, interesting. This would be a nice stretch, and likewise Cooler has been informed.
The stupid Frieza always is so confident. I bet that's why he wasn't able to do anything against his opponent. I'll have to save him.
Returned to the battlefield, Frieza would stand up very hardly.
Wow, I'm surprised that you were able to stand up while my pressure was active.
I don't mind dying in this place, but I'm not going to let you make fun of me. I, the Emperor of Evil, will show you 100% of all my power.
Frieza at the moment would begin to access 100% of all his power, with which the whole planet would begin to shake. That's right, the planet was not able to withstand two great powers. Frieza's musculature would increase a little, but his power had exploded hundreds of times more. So he would observe Goku with a very serious look.
I hope you're ready to die, because at this very moment I will annihilate you.
Frieza threw himself against Goku, who, with the intention of testing the power of his enemy, would let himself be completely hit. That's right, all of Frieza's fists, attacks, and kicks were able to connect throughout Goku's body.
No, damn. Not even the legendary Super Saiyan's able to stand up to that. But Kakarot's been at fault, as it's allowed him to access his maximum power. Vegeta, we better help Kakarot, because if we don't, after him, we'll follow.
But before both Saiyans interfered, Goku would fall to the ground, creating an incredible destruction all over the battlefield. Even lava was coming out of several volcanoes.
Haha, that's what you deserve for underestimating the Emperor Evil Frieza.
Instantly, both ships had arrived on the planet Namek, so King Cold and Cooler would come out, prostrating themselves to the side of Frieza.
Ho ho ho! I can tell that damn trash you've been able to force you to use 100% of all your power. But your body's in pieces, Frieza. Did you trust yourself?
Hahaha, Father, that's more than evident. Since his opponents are pathetic Saiyans, they don't possess the necessary power to defeat us. And if they were able to leave Frieza in those conditions, it has been by Confio.
No, damn. This would be our end. Even two warriors who have arrived look much more powerful than Frieza.
At that moment, a great aura would rise all over the battlefield, which left Frieza surprised since he had hit it with all his power. Goku would spit out some blood, watching the new warriors who had arrived.
Frieza, if that's the maximum power you've got, you left me disappointed.
since I thought you'd be able to hit me much harder. You're a good for nothing. Damn worm, I won't let you make fun of me anymore. Oh, nothing more compared to me. Even your planet was destroyed by me.
Goku would hold Frieza's fist with only one of his hands while staring at him.
Frieza, you're nothing against me, so I'll give you all the advantage. Fight the three of you against me.
Frieza was able to say something. He would spit blood, and Goku inserts his fist into his stomach, making him spit large amounts of blood. Then both warriors would intervene on the battlefield, pouncing against Goku. Most Saiyans likewise would also want to intervene in the battle, however, they knew that they didn't have the required power to face both of the warriors. But they were surprised when they realized that Goku was able to face three warriors without any difficulty. So it is Goku, of a great expulsion of his power, was able to send them to fly to some of the mountains, destroying everything around him. So instantly, Frieza and his father launched themselves against Goku, while on the other hand, Cooler would begin to access his maximum power. That's right, Cooler was much more powerful than his brother, so he had still had one more transformation. His power began to grow in an incredible way, while his body seemed to wear a great armor, as his musculature would increase.
You're the first warrior who forces me to use a fifth form. I hope that you're prepared to die, since you will not be able to withstand a single one of my blows.
Cooler would rush at an incredible speed against Goku. Instantly, Frieza and King Cold would turn to the side, so Cooler was able to connect his incredible blow to Goku's face. But to everyone's surprise, Cooler's incredible blow wasn't even able to make Goku's head move. So Goku, with a smile, expelled a little of his power, causing incredible damage to Cooler.
It's time for me to move my muscles a little. Devastating planetary!
A great attack would rise into the air, so hundreds of rays surrounded Cooler, causing him incredible damage, which made him fall to the ground on the verge of death. Without being able to move any of his joints, the Cold King, observing this, would pass to his last transformation. While Frieza would try to attack him, Goku would stretch out one of his hands.
Don't rush. I'll give your father the time to transform, and between the two attack me, so don't waste your energies.
Frieza, furious, swung his pride, was not able to do anything, just waiting for his father to be able to access 100% of all his power. After a few minutes, a big explosion would be generated all over the place, watching King Cold at his maximum power.
It's time to end this battle, Cooler. I know you're very badly injured, but you better try to fight, because if you're not able to beat him, all of us will die today. So make your last effort.
Cooler, with his maximum effort, was able to stand up, with which the three warriors started attacking Goku. However, everything was in vain because despite having the numerical advantage, Son Goku's power was on another level. So Goku was only responsible for dodging each of his blows. So instantly, Goku would observe them with a smile.
I've granted you the time required for you to be able to harm me. Now it's my turn to attack, so get ready. I'll eradicate you.
Goku, with his great speed, was able to cross the chest of King Cold, being able to even take out his heart, so he would fall to the ground lifeless. Frieza, furious in the same way, rushed against Goku. However, Goku, holding his head tightly, was able to tear off his head, making Frieza's body fall to the ground. Goku would stare at Cooler as he began to approach.
What did I just see? He was able to wipe out the evil family in a matter of seconds. Can't believe the power of the legendary Super Saiyan.
Please, I'm begging you, spare my life. I promise you'll never see my face again. That's too late. I can't leave you alive, as you'll continue to enslave many more races, so I think it's time to end the problem at the root.
Goku would stretch out one of his hands, and with a powerful attack, he was able to pulverize Cooler completely. The instant the evil family was eradicated, several inhabitants came out of their hiding places, approaching Goku.
Sir, we thank you for being able to protect our planet. If you have any wishes, the Dragon Balls are for your disposal.
You have nothing to be grateful for. I've done the right thing, and for the wish, I want all the victims at the hands of Frieza's army to be revived.
No, damn insect. Let me ask for the eternal life. You don't need it, you have incredible power, but I long for immortality.
Goku would observe him with a very serious look, which made Vegeta enter into terror.
I don't know where you'll go, Vegeta, or if you wish to come with my brother and me to planet Earth.
I'll go with you, but as I'll be the only way in which I'll be able to become much more powerful.
The three Saiyan warriors were headed to the planet Earth. However, a much more powerful warrior was watching Son Goku. Just like on planet Earth, an incredible, extremely powerful warrior would make Goku know the defeat. Upon arriving on planet Earth, the trio of Saiyans had separated to continue with their great training. On the other hand, the Prince of the Saiyans was able to meet with Bulma, and this being a great scientist was able to create gravity capsules in which the great Vegeta was able to train to become much more powerful.
I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. Can't allow another Saiyan to be much more powerful than me.
On the other hand, Goku and Raditz both were training in the mountains, because on this occasion Goku wanted his brother's power to rise in a great way. However, on one of his training days, a gigantic power to be felt all over the planet Earth. A power that even on this occasion was able to make the Saiyan Goku nervous.
Whose is all this incredible power? I can't believe it! The power he's unleashing is amazing.
I feel like my whole body's crushed by the incredible power. Who is it?
But a very peculiar warrior stood in front of Goku. That's right, the speed with which he had arrived had left him very surprised, since even Goku wasn't able to notice.
Who are you? I can tell that you're a very powerful monster. It's not yet time for you to know about my identity, but I want to prove the great power that the incredible Goku is said to possess.
The mysterious warrior rushed against Goku, who exchanged multiple blows all over the place. However, it's been very difficult for Goku to keep up. His battle would not last more than 2 minutes. So at the moment, both would take a little distance, while on the warrior's face a big smile would be drawn.
With you, I'll really be able to use the Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan? What the hell's that?
At the moment, the hair would turn a golden color, while on the whole planet Earth began to shudder due to all the incredible power that was released. Even Goku would be very surprised by all the incredible power that the warrior gave off. However, without Goku being able to see anything, the warrior was able to connect a powerful blow to Goku's stomach, which this time had caused incredible damage, while too much blood was coming out of Goku's body.
Yeah, what the hell is that transformation? The blow that has been able to connect me has caused me incredible damage, but I can't give up so easily.
Goku would stand up, while his power began to increase in an incredible way. That's right, Goku was pushing the power of his body to the limit, while the mysterious warrior stared at him.
The rumors were true. He really is very powerful, and if I'm able to warn him, everything will happen. I know he'll be able to do something, but I have to see the limit of his power.
Instantly, a huge extortion from the energy of Goku had been able to access his maximum power, with which even his eyes could be observed a bright red, just as his gaze had completely changed.
You're a very powerful warrior with whom I had no plans to hide any of my true power, so I hope you're prepared.
Goku moved at a great speed, however this time he was able to brush Trunks' cheek, but instantly his battle would be much more destructive. This time all the Z warriors had come to the place to know what was happening, being surprised by the great battle that both warriors were releasing.
Raditz, what the hell happened? Is he a new enemy?
I don't know, Vegeta, but the power he's able to release is amazing.
But instantly, a smile would be drawn on Vegeta's face, while his power would likewise begin to increase in an incredible way. That's right, this time Goku and Trunks had stopped their battle, realizing that in the same way, a great power would be felt all over the place. Everyone being surprised to realize how Vegeta had agreed to the same transformation as the warrior who was fighting with Goku.
Wow, Prince Vegeta's been able to acquire the same transformation as that guy.
Trunks would return to his base state, starting to explain that he came from the future, hiding his identity so that the timeline's not affected. That's right, this time the warriors were 2 years old, before facing extremely powerful warriors, which all the Z warriors would fall before their powers.
I hope to be able to come back in 2 years to be able to help in this battle.
Trunks would leave the place, while all the warriors were very surprised. However, the most shocked was Goku, since his power was overcome, although it wasn't by much the power that warrior had been able to almost defeat them.
Vegeta, I want to have a friendly combat with you. I want to check the new power you've been able to get.
This time I'll be able to beat you, you damn worm.
The eyes of both would cross, so at the moment both began to exchange blows. However, the difference in powers was overwhelming, since Goku was able to sweep the floor with Vegeta's body. That's right, although Vegeta had been able to access the Super Saiyan, he wasn't able to compare with Goku's power, which instantly, with a great attack of energy, was able to put him out of combat.
I have to use the Dragon Balls. Really, their transformations were similar, but why was Vegeta's power hundreds of times less?
all the warriors would spread out to continue with their training, but much more Vegeta, since he couldn't stand that despite taking his body to their limit, he hadn't been able to beat Kakarot. For his part, Goku, with the help of Raditz, they would begin to gather all the Dragon Balls. After a few hours, they'd been able to gather all of them.
Brother, one question. Why do you need the spheres? I need to know what is the power I possess, and why Vegeta's transformation was similar to that warrior's. He wasn't able to cope with me? I have lots of doubts.
Goku would summon the mighty Shenron, so instantly the whole sky would darken, realizing that they had summoned Shenron.
You have gathered the 7 Dragon Balls. Tell me, what is your wish? I can meet 3 of them.
What is the state I was born with? I like to have answers. And how can I become more powerful? Am I the legendary Super Saiyan?
Instantly, the other warriors would arrive at the place, realizing that Goku and Raditz had summoned Shenron.
First of all, you are not the legendary Super Saiyan, since the legendary Super Saiyan lives on a planet far away from this place, and his power is unlimited. Secondly, the state with which you were blessed is the Super Saiyan's Phase 4. You were only able to pass the other transformations. And finally, you can become more powerful if you continue with your training. Although, of course, increasing your power in that state would be much more complicated, since the Super Saiyan Phase 4 is your base state.
Everyone was surprised to learn that Goku was not the legendary Super Saiyan, he was only born with Super Saiyan Phase 4.
That means that I possess the Super Saiyan Stage 1, and if Kakarot's been able to be born with that transformation, I'm also able to access a similar state.
Vegeta would quickly leave to continue his great training. Meanwhile, Goku would remain very thoughtful.
In that case, I have to train much more, because if my power stays stagnant, I won't be able to overcome my limits. I'll train on my own from now on, Raditz.
You understand, brother? In that case, I'll leave to train with Gohan and Piccolo.
Goku would leave for the Sacred Temple. That's right, Goku had it planned to enter the Room of Time, in which the instant he arrived, he would expel the maximum of his power, with which even the same dimension would change noticeably.
I don't plan to stay behind. I know that I have the necessary ability to be able to overcome my limits once again.
Goku would start with his great training, which this time was to try to access a new transformation. So he would begin to concentrate all his energy while raising his power. However, it was very complicated for him. He was only able to get his muscles to grow in a great way.
I have an idea. The Saiyans were able to transform into Zarus, but what'll happen if I transform?
Goku, with a small sphere in one of his hands, was able to create a small artificial moon, with which he instantly transformed. His fur would change to a golden color, but this would begin to destroy everything around him. Not being able to control all that power, so they spent months in the Room of Time, in which, in all this time, Goku was able to master his state completely.
It's time! I'm already able to fully maintain reason, so no problem.
Goku exceeded his state of Ozaru, with which, at the moment of not having completely lost his mind, his golden fur and body began to shrink, which would leave Goku very surprised, since he had not happened before. While an amazing power was released all over the place, at the instant of an incredible scream by Goku, this would create a great explosion, as it was possible to observe a Goku with a similar appearance, but this time, the color of his fur was golden, while his power was capable of disintegrating any warrior not on the same scale of his power.
Wow! The power I've been able to get is amazing, but I have to be able to completely master it, because otherwise, I'll even hurt my friends.
Goku began to master his new power. That's right, Goku in his base state, which was the Super Saiyan 4, was able to access the Super Saiyan. For that reason, the fur was golden. On the other hand, in a very secluded place, a scientist known as Dr. Gero was able to create 2 powerful androids, which possessed the cells of all the warriors, even of Goku Phase 4. However, these androids, despite being very powerful warriors, were only part of the real danger. That's right, a warrior named Cell, which he possessed in his body, the cells of all the most powerful warriors in the universe, was being formed.
With all the cell phones of the warriors, the power of Cell will be incredible. Nothing and no one will be able to stop him, not even those annoying Saiyans.
Returning to the Room of Time, Goku had been able to master all his power completely, so Goku would leave the room while his power was able to alert all the Z warriors. However, a spy robot was able to steal a tiny hair from Son Goku's new state, being able that the power was incubating the powerful Cell. and it was able to hold all that incredible power. That's right, on this occasion, with that small sample of energy, Cell was able to develop completely, being able to generate a big explosion all over the place, while his power would likewise draw attention of all the warriors. Realizing that 2 years had already passed, I had completely forgotten. It's been 2 years already, so those androids will appear on an island in the west, destroying everything around. But there's no destroyed island, or is there anything that guy was so pure nonsense? For his part, Dr. Garo was surprised to realize how his greatest creation had been able to evolve quickly with the help of that last sample.
Cell, absorb the android so that you'll be able to achieve your perfect form.
As you order. Although I thank you for being able to create me, I don't like being ordered by beings weaker than me.
Cell, with a beam of energy, was able to end the life of its creator, while approaching the androids, and without allowing any of them to move, was able to absorb them completely. On this occasion, the power that was released was amazing, so much so that even it overshadowed the power of Goku. Apparently that warrior was said to be true. It had turned out to be more than where all the incredible power was released. Meanwhile, in a very distant place, in the same way, a warrior as powerful as Cell or much more was watching everything.
Keep getting much more powerful, because very soon I'll end your very existence, Son Goku, or you'll be part of all my power.
Returning to planet Earth, the warriors were able to get in front of Cell, being surprised by the power that this new enemy was releasing. However, confident, Vegeta would take a step forward.
I'll show you that this warrior's a simple joke on this side of me.
Vegeta would access Super Saiyan 2, while Cell would observe it with a big smile.
You don't have the power to stand up to me, Vegeta, so you better get out, damn worm.
A furious Vegeta would rush against Cell, however his blows were not able to cause any damage to Cell, with which a few blows were able to leave the Prince of the Saiyans lying on the ground with few wounds.
I want to fight Son Goku, because I was created to end his life.
Goku, the instant he took a step, would realize that Vegeta would get back on his feet.
I haven't been defeated yet. Now I'll show you the fruit of my training has had, so I hope you're ready to observe the power of the great Vegeta.
Vegeta would immediately begin to expel a large amount of energy, which left everyone surprised. That's right, Vegeta had been able to achieve 3 new transformations, and this time, he would use one of the most powerful transformations, the incredible Super Saiyan 3. The incredible power of Vegeta had been enough to make the whole planet Earth rumble, since the Prince of the Saiyans had been able to break every one of its limits, and despite this, he still hid a transformation more.
What do you think about my new power? With this power, you won't be able to do anything against me, since you're just a fucking experiment.
You make me so sorry, Vegeta, because really, even if you've had that incredible power increase, you'll not be able to do anything to save your life.
The look of Cell showed a great confidence. Instantly, both launched to start with the great battle. This time, their fists were powerful enough to cause havoc throughout the universe. That's right, the power that both subjects possessed, they were even capable of causing destruction by nearby planets. However, Goku was able to observe the battle intently.
If that is Vegeta's maximum power, he'll lose immediately, since his opponent only is cornering him with his incredible defense. No, but my father possesses incredible power. It seems that he's even able to beat Cell, since he's not able to counterattack. No, Trunks, look carefully. You can tell no matter how much Vegeta attacks, Cell's able to block every blow. While Vegeta more attacks, his energy begins to decrease, unlike Cell's power, which hasn't decreased in the slightest.
The battle was so intense that only Goku was able to observe what was really happening. Those wrecks were even able to attract the attention of an angel that was far away from the whole planet Earth. That's right, this was Whis, which thanks to his staff was able to observe the entire incredible battle. Wow, so the Saiyans of the planet Vegeta have evolved in an incredible way, since the power they are able to release is incredible. I would dare say that they would be excellent toys for Mr. Beerus in the future. Returning to the battlefield, Cell would instantly expel a little more of his incredible power, forcing Vegeta to retreat a few meters. So at the moment, Cell would start laughing because a few beads of drops of blood were falling from Vegeta's lip.
Apparently it doesn't matter what power you've been able to get. You're nothing besides me. Let me tell you, this is not even 50% of all my power.
No, I don't believe you at all. You're just bragging.
Furious, Vegeta would pounce against Cell again. However, on this occasion, Cell was able to connect some excellent blows to Vegeta, which caused incredible damage. Each blow was awarded strategically since Vegeta's energy flow began to be affected. Cell, instantly, with a powerful hammer blow, was able to send him to the base of the planet again, generating a powerful destruction in his path.
I've already said it. I want to fight with Son Goku, since no one else will be able to make me do anything against me.
Goku, at the moment of being about to climb on the platform, an incredible roar was able to make everyone present retreat, while a great Azaru would be formed all over the battlefield. That's right, the Prince of the Saiyans had been able to achieve the iconic transformation of Super Saiyan Phase 4, which was, at that moment of being in transition, it would be powerful enough to make everything around him shudder. A great light that would rise all over the battlefield, Vegeta would be observed in his new transformation.
Damn worm, you've been able to force me to use 100% of all my power. I was saving that transformation for when it was my turn to fight with Kakarot.
Wow, Vegeta's been able to achieve the transformation that I'd been able to be born with. Vegeta's an admirable warrior.
No matter how much power you boast, you won't be able to do anything in.
Cell wasn't able to finish his sentence since Vegeta's fist was in his stomach. That's right, on this occasion, Cell wasn't able to observe anything. Cell had been able to fly to a few mountains, generating surprising damage. Cell, at the moment of standing up, large amounts of blood were spreading over the battlefield.
Well, what I'm seeing may be the perfect warrior's bleeding. I thought that a stupid creation like you had no blood. You're well done.
Dumb monkey.
At this very moment, I'm planning to crush you with my maximum power.
Cell, at that precise moment, he would release 100% of his power, as the occasion warranted, because Vegeta's power in Super Saiyan 4 had exploded in a surprising way, while Goku would begin to observe much more relaxed.
Cell's power is amazing, but Vegeta's able to master 100% of his power. He'll be able to beat Cell. Even if it doesn't succeed, Cell's not my opponent. I thought his power was much bigger because the extortion before left me surprised.
Both launched into an attack, so on this occasion, both left aside the defense, since each of them awarded each other blows, which were capable of destroying the planet Earth. But when Goku was in the place, he was able to create a great barrier, so that the planet is not affected in the slightest, while on the other hand, the blows of both were capable of destroying several of his bones. But Vegeta was starting to have the advantage, so with a great kick, he was able to send it flying, destroying mountains around.
I have to congratulate you. You're able to force me to use 100% of all my power. But on this occasion, I plan to end your miserable existence.
Cell was on the ground trying to recover from that incredible blow. Vegeta, for his part, would begin to charge an incredible attack, with which he'd planned to eradicate Cell completely. Vegeta would instantly throw his attack.
I don't plan to die without doing anything. This is my most powerful attack anyway.
Cell would throw his incredible attack. Both attacks would begin to collide in an incredible way. But on Vegeta's face, a big smile would appear. So he would instantly take his body to the limit, expelling much more power, managing to completely disintegrate Cell.
The damn green cockroach wasn't able to do anything against me.
That's right, Father. My father is able to beat Cell. This time, with the power I possess, I'll be able to beat the androids of my time.
After a few days, Trunks would also return to the future, of which he belonged, while in the current timeline several years had passed in which no danger had occurred for the Z Warriors, since on this occasion even Majin Buu had not been a rival for the Warriors, since Goku was able to defeat him with incredible ease. But in a place very far away from all the 12 universes, the warrior who had been able to observe Goku for several years was...
It's time to absorb old Goku and his other companions of great powers.
That warrior would begin to move through all the 12 universes at a great speed, but at the moment to enter Universe 7 he would stop quickly, realizing that the God of Destruction along with his angel were heading the same way to the planet Earth.
Damn it! At the least appropriate movement, the Beerus bastard had woken up, and I'm sure he's heading to planet Earth to have a worthy battle.
Returning to planet Earth, they were celebrating Bulma's birthday. All the warriors were present. However, at the moment, the North Kai was able to communicate with Goku and Vegeta telepathically.
Goku, Vegeta, the god of destruction Beerus is heading towards your planet at a great speed. By all means, make him angry, because no matter the power you possess, it'll not be enough to defeat Beerus. Beerus? I feel like I've heard that name somewhere else. But it doesn't matter who it is, since we're the most powerful Saiyans.
Don't worry. Although if he calls himself the god of destruction, I hope he'll be powerful, since Majin Buu, he was not able to give me a worthy battle. I've had years that I don't have that feeling of being cornered.
No, you guys don't understand what you're saying. Beerus' power's on another level.
But instantly, both deities had arrived at Bulma's house, for which Vegeta, upon observing him, would remember how that subject was capable of humiliating his father.
But you are. Apparently you still remember me. But it's surprising that you're able to remember me since I humiliated your father when you were a child.
Wow, Vegeta, I can tell you already know this guy. What's wrong with you? Your look looks like you've seen the same demon.
No, Kakarot. Now I understand why the Kai was terrified. The power of this warrior is incredible. We're not able to do anything against him.
Vegeta, I think you're exaggerating everything, since he doesn't even seem to be powerful. He's all skinny, he doesn't even have muscles.
What is it that you've told me? If you have the courage to repeat it, and believe me, that I'll not leave the bones of you, since I'm capable of pulverizing you.
Sorry if I offended you, but better, why don't you just tell us that you bring him here?
Apparently, even if you don't know about my existence, you know what your place is. I'll tell you, Whis, my angel, has informed me that you're able to defeat Frieza. You're even blessed with incredible power since your birth.
You're correct. I was able to beat Frieza, and I was born with the power of Super Saiyan 4, so my power's birth is gigantic.
I understand, but by chance, don't you know the Super Saiyan God?
Super Saiyan God? No, I've never heard of that transformation.
In that case, I want to have a battle with you. And if you're able to force me to use 25% of all my power, I promise not to destroy this planet.
Only 25% of all the power? You're really underestimating me.
Goku would get in a battle pose, but despite having his guard up, the god Beerus was able to give him millions of blows, which would begin to cause incredible damage. So much so that in a few seconds, Goku had fallen to the ground very badly injured.
Yeah, what the hell? Even though I'm on my guard, I wasn't able to see anything. The power of that guy's amazing, but I have much more power.
Goku would stand up while his body expelled too much blood.
The damage you caused me was incredible, but what do you think about this?
Goku would begin to expel all his power, with which on this occasion, he'd been able to access the Super Golden Saiyan. The eyes of both would cross, so the incredible battle had begun. All the warriors of the party would realize that a great battle was taking place, and it was not a training.
Vegeta, do you even know what's going on?
Believe me, Bulma, I don't even know what'll happen. But better quickly gather the Dragon Balls. We'll have to know about the Super Saiyan God.
But that was the prize for the winner of my birthday.
Believe me, if we don't, no matter who the winner is on your birthday, we'll all die here. And I'm sure Kakarot won't be able to beat him.
Returned to the battle, Goku, despite using all his power, was not able to keep up with Beerus, who at the moment of the battle will increase his power, but only he would release it to 16% of all his power, with which he would begin to completely humiliate Goku. That's right, this time Goku wasn't even able to observe all the blows that came from Beerus, so he would hold him by the neck.
For a mere mortal, you surely possess incredible power, but you aren't able to force me to use the percentage I've told you.
Beerus, with a slight blow, was able to send him to the planet with a big blow. Goku had lost his transformation, while his body was in terrible condition.
God damn it! I haven't been able to make any scratches on him, so that's the power of the God of Destruction.
As I said, if you're not able to force me to use 25% of my power, I'll destroy the entire planet Earth.
God Beerus would begin to channel a little of his gigantic power to destroy the planet. However, at the moment, the whole sky would darken.
One moment, Mr. Beerus. At this moment, we're able to bring the Super Saiyan God. Just give us a little time. If that's caught my attention, I'll grant you a little time.
At the moment of being summoned Shenron, he was also surprised to realize the presence of the God of Destruction, Beerus. So he'd begin to explain how to invoke the Super Saiyan God, since the warrior as such had disappeared millions of years ago. That means that in order to summon the Super Saiyan God, they require 5 Saiyans to grant the power to another Saiyan.
It's time to do it. Gohan's wife's pregnant, so this can work.
All the warriors would hold hands, so they started with the great ritual of the Super Saiyan God. Being Goku the chosen one, that's right, at the moment, the power of the 5 would begin to flow through his body, with which his power would begin to grow in a surprising way, to the point of disappearing from the perception of mortals, since Goku had been able to access the state of the Super Saiyan God.
That's the power of a god. So after all, it's been worth the wait.
Indeed, Mr. Beerus, that is the power of a Saiyan God. Goku would expel all his power in his new state, leaving everyone surprised by the incredible presence he had, since his fur was of a silver color, while an incredible pressure was felt by everything around him. The Saiyan God state has been a complete madness because the essence he was releasing would surprise all the deities present. So instantly, even Beerus was forced to use 28% of all his power, which had already exceeded his limit.
I can't believe much power I've been able to reach that mortal. He has even been able to force me to use much more power, and without having to fight.
Wow, the power that runs through my body is amazing. So for this very reason, the gods possess absurd amounts of power. I feel that I'm able to beat anyone.
Apparently, he's shocked by the state of a god. But you better get ready, because right now I'll test your power.
Mr. Beerus, don't get complacent, as apparently the power of that Saiyan has risen in a surprising way. So much so that at the moment he's able to defeat it.
Don't say stupid things, Whis. It's true that it's been able to get an amazing power, but remember that I'm the most powerful god among the 12. I can't lose with a mortal.
Beerus, as a flash, had rushed against Goku, but to everyone's surprise, Goku was able to dodge him, staring at Beerus.
So with this move, you'll be able to hit me a few moments ago. How interesting. At this moment, I was able to see everything completely.
Goku, with a slight blow to the chest of Beerus, was able to cause incredible damage, so much that it would make him fall to the ground, vomiting large amounts of blood all over the floor.
What the hell? The hit he was able to give me was incredible. The power and precision are out of this world.
Beerus would stand up, but his internal energy would become very out of control.
No, damn. I have to control my internal energy because otherwise...
Beerus was able to release a large amount of destructive energy, though all of his energy veins, so at the moment, it was enough to control the energy flow again, because Goku's fist had been able to inject his Saiyan God energy.
I can tell that you have great control in the new techniques of the gods, but I want to see if you could do this against the true power of a god.
Beerus would begin to channel much more power, with which he was able to even make Goku retreat a few meters. So at the moment, Beerus, at a great speed, rushed again against Goku. However, Goku this time was able to block his blow, so both began to exchange thousands of blows all around. The battle of both would intensify to such an extent that they began to fight in the same way all over Universe 7, destroying inhospitable planets. The destruction they caused in the other universes will be evident. I have to create a barrier so that does not spread to universes 6 and 8. Whis, with the help of his staff, was able to create a great barrier throughout Universe 7, so that intense battle continues with the same rhythm. Beerus, moment, was able to connect an incredible blow on Goku's chin, sending him to a planet, destroying everything around him. Now Beerus, being about to say something, Goku with incredible speed was able to hit back, sending him the same way to a planet, but the planet on this occasion would be completely destroyed.
The blow you gave me was amazing, but I don't plan to give up, so right now I plan to end this battle.
Goku would expel much more power, with which, in all his great aura, a great Ozaru would be formed. And that's right, Goku's power had been so great that an incredible Ozaru would be formed throughout the Universe 7.
This is the power of all my friends, and my own power. I'm not allowed to lose.
Ugh, that blow hurt me too much. But I don't plan to lose because I'm the most powerful god among all the gods. I'll show you all my power.
Beerus would instantly begin to expel his true power, which left Whis surprised. Mr. Beerus is planning to use his transformation for the first time. Even none of the gods know the transformation of Mr. Beerus, and he'll use it with Immortal. The power of Beerus would begin to rise in an unreal way, so much so that it would cause the entire Universe 7 to begin to tremble, because the power of Beerus was too great. At the pace of a great explosion of destructive energy, it was possible to observe Beerus in his new form, from which he radiated destructive energy.
I apologize for the delay. I'm just not used to using 100% of all my power. But are you ready?
Goku at this moment was unable to dodge the blow that Beerus was able to give him all over his face. The blow contained an incredible power that the planet in his path had been completely destroyed. Goku would be able to recover in one of the rubble, spitting out too much blood, while his energy veins seemed to explode.
I'm not able to fight with this power anymore. I feel like my whole body's starting to tear. This must be the price for using the power of a god.
What's happened? Is that all the Saiyan God can offer?
You're completely wrong. I'm still capable of beating you up.
The gaze of both warriors crossed. Launching into the attack, their battle was much more destructive. So Whis instantly would create a barrier for all the warriors of planet Earth who were affected by the simple pressure of the battle of both warriors, because the power of both was capable of ending their lives.
I can't believe the power Kakarot's been able to achieve. I likewise also want to achieve the power of the gods.
This is a nightmare. I'm sure that guy must have already used much more than 25% of all his power, so the battle must be over by now.
I agree with you, madame, but apparently neither of the two wishes to give up, so the battle will only be decided when one of the two falls.
I don't know who'll be the first to fall, because from Kakarot's expression, his body's about to collapse, but I don't know the limit of Mr. Beerus.
Like the warrior named Mr. Goku, Mr. Beerus is at the limit, since no one has ever forced him to use 100% of his combat form.
Damn it. I have to end this battle once and for all, because otherwise this wretch will be able to beat me.
In the next blow, I'll use all my power. If I miss, it'll be my defeat. But the planet Earth is already free of danger, since I have forced him to use much more power.
Instantly, both launched themselves with their maximum speeds, granting themselves an incredible blow. At that moment, both fell toward the planet on the verge of death. Since the last blow that both contained their maximum power, for this part Susano, who was watching everything that happened, was surprised since Son Goku's power had exceeded all his expectations.
I'll have to do it right now, since my power is much greater than that of an ordinary angel. Only Daishenkin's able to defeat me, but if I am able to absorb both warriors, I'm sure that my power will grow in an incredible way.
Whis would begin to heal Beerus, but with a great movement, he was able to dodge a kick that, if connected with him, would have knocked him out of combat, while instantly a surprising pressure would fall all over the planet Earth.
Damn, this is the worst moment a new enemy has appeared, but luckily I have one of the seeds that recover all the energies.
Vegeta was able to throw one of the seeds towards Goku, who, despite being on the verge of death, was able to eat one, healing all his wounds completely, as well as obtaining an incredible power increase, prostrating himself in front of that warrior.
Who the hell are you? Why are you trying to attack us when we're not able to defend ourselves? You're a coward.
It's a pity. I just wanted to not go through the suffering of the beating I'll give you, because if you're at 100% of your power, I'll have to beat him up to absorb you.
Did you say absorb me? You think I'll get sucked in so easily? Don't be deluded, because if you want to end my life, you'll have to be prepared to die too.
But without Goku being able to notice, the warrior with a seed and strength much more overwhelming than that of Beerus was able to hold him by the neck, completely neutralizing him to the ground.
You don't have the power required to do anything against me, so you better be prepared to form for my power.
But at that precise moment, Beerus in his combat form would throw an incredible blow at him. But the guy with his other hand was able to stop that incredible blow.
It will be better to wait your turn, since you will be part of my power, and not even your angel will be able to avoid it.
Susano with a few blows was able to send Goku flying to another planet, making him destroy mountains in his path, while he would begin to approach Beerus.
Who the hell are you? I could tell that you're not an ordinary person, but I'm not gonna form to your power. First, you have to end my life.
Beerus would throw himself against that warrior, but this time, despite the fact that Beerus' power was completely restored, he hadn't been able to do anything against him. Since his enemy was able to knock each of his blows, his powers were as distant as heaven and earth. Susano at the moment was able to summon an energy giant, which pounced against Beerus, and being a few centimeters away, several rays were able to trap his body completely. So at the moment, the giant would create a huge explosion, but before he's able to catch Beerus, Goku was able to hold him with his great speed, falling to the side of that gigantic explosion.
Mr. Beerus, are you alright?
But Goku would start vomiting huge amounts of blood all over the place.
Damn bug, you didn't have to do something so risky. He's almost able to finish both of us, but I appreciate it, although I don't know how the hell we'll be able to defeat him.
At the moment, among the flames of that great explosion, Susano would be getting to approach both warriors. While on his back, this same hell was able to represent itself, or rather, the soul of thousands of warriors who were part of his power.
This'll be your new home, so you better get started getting acquainted.
No, damn, I don't plan to be part of your power. I'll end your damn existence first.
Goku would pounce against the warrior, followed by Beerus. Despite being the two most powerful warriors of Universe 7, Beerus, the strongest god among the 12 gods, they were not able to face that imposing warrior, which would only take one of his arms to be able to completely neutralize him. So then, he would stop playing, taking both of them by the neck and crashing them against the mountains and rocks that were around them for a few moments. He would throw them, destroying everything around.
It is time. You're not even able to move anymore. At this moment, you will pass to form for all of my power.
Ah, damn it! Even the lost status of a Saiyan God, this will be our end.
Hell, I never thought that I'd be defeated by a warrior who doesn't even exercise the title of a god. You're a random being.
At the moment, a large portal would form in front of them, with which their powers began to be drained. But at that instant, their last hope would appear on the battlefield. That's right, Whis was able to manage to give an incredible blow on his face, sending him flying. It's time to fight. I have to be able to end this warrior's life.
But Whis, you being an angel can't meddle in the affairs of the gods.
This is a special case since I have been able to realize that the subject in front of us is about Susano, one of the first celestial beings, but having ambitions of wanting to overthrow the king of the whole Xeno-Sama. They were considered fallen celestials.
Well, apparently you know something about my origin. But that won't save you from ending your pathetic life here now. So get ready, damn insect.
You better not get complacent, as the divine realm has changed since 5 million years ago, and at the moment you are not untouchable. At the moment, an angel and a fallen celestial began to exchange millions of blows all over the battlefield. However, inside Goku, the power of the Super Saiyan God had been able to merge with Son Goku completely. So at the moment, a new power was beginning to awaken in his body. Since, being a prodigy, he was able to perform feats that no other warrior was able to achieve.
Ah, I feel like my body's burning. I even feel like my blood is pumping much faster. My heart feels like it's gonna explode.
That's right, the internal system of Goku would begin to emanate a new power. On the other hand, the battle of both seemed to be very evenly matched. However, Susano would begin to increase his power, while Whis was already using 100% of all of his power. So in the course of the battle, Susano would begin to take the advantage. Susano, with a great blow, was able to send Whis flying, falling to the planet very badly injured. Hell, I thought after millions of years I'd be able to do something against him. Susano would begin to approach Whis with the intention of ending his life. But in all that place, a gigantic power had been perceived, even being so much that on this occasion the barrier that Whis had placed had been completely destroyed, being perceived his power by all the gods and beings of the Divine Kingdom.
Wow, whose incredible power is that?
Goku's power would continue to grow in an incredible way, destroying everything in its path. A gigantic power rumbled through the 12 universes, and this power was able to reach the realm of Xeno-Sama, which would be surprised by the incredible power that was unleashed.
Daishaken, whose power is all that? The power he's releasing is capable of overshadowing the power of the angels.
Give me a moment, great Xeno-Sama. This warrior's releasing all that incredible power.
That subject must be from another multiverse to carry that power from the weakest multiverse is complete madness. Daishinkan, with his mental power, found the information of Kakarot. His surprise would be more to realize that all his power had achieved more than 50 mortal years, which is crazy. Daishinkan's face represented terror. Daishinkan, what's wrong? Do you know who that gifted warrior is?
My lord, that warrior even falls short, since the warrior's a genius among geniuses. He's got to get power in less than a century.
What did you say? How long is that being learning to flow with the unnoticed of all the 12 universes?
I don't know, but apparently he's able to release all his power, realizing that his friends were about to die since
Daishinkan would instantly fall to the ground, recognizing the warrior in front of everyone else.
This can't be. The fallen archangels have sealed millennia ago. They're part of the children, but because their heart contains pure evil, they're not able to follow the orders of their respective gods.
Daishinkan, are these the angels of the 6 eliminated universes? It's not possible. We have not eliminated them, so not to break the balance. But in the seal, we've sealed it. Not even a king would be able to break it.
I agree with you, but for that reason, my impression is that we have to observe the battle that takes place, since the power of that guy named Kakarot's amazing.
Completely red in his eyes, watching Susano, who were able to incredible murderous tension he was releasing. At the moment, a large crust of ice was forming all around.
I'm surprised by this essence you're releasing. Not fighting, but not to control to face me. Because even though you increase your power, you don't have control. Only to be a time bomb.
Kakarot, without saying anything, was able to plunge his fist into his stomach, sending him flying and destroying everything. Kakarot, without waiting for him to react, was able to throw an attack which would hit him squarely, leaving everyone surprised. The regeneration of his enemy was unreal. Not for anything to consider the fallen archangels, but while he was regenerating, Kakarot would see with the cold gaze of Whis. Damn, I don't know if he's conscious, but if his attacks in this state are on me, he'll be able to end my life. Kakarot would put his hand on his shoulder, transmitting a little of his energy, which would be able to heal all of his wounds. Please take care and protect my friends. I'll take care of him. Kakarot, in a flash, disappeared in front of Susano, who was able to regenerate, watching Kakarot with a little fear.
Damn it. Sealed by a million years, my power is not even 1/100th of my original. But I have to defeat an angel. I've never thought a mere mortal would be able to put me in trouble.
Susano began to give him millions of blows, but this executed a great power. Kakarot's body didn't move in the slightest. Susano would stop attacking. He would raise his gaze a little. Observing Kakarot's cold face, just the same, he was able to see an incredible beast. Seeing his transformation was called the Super Saiyan 10, or even the forbidden power beyond a Saiyan, which allowed his opponents to feel terror just by looking into his eyes.
No. This guy's not mortal. I have to be able to get along, or he'll be able to end my life.
Susano would try to escape, an act that surprised the deities, because even though his powers were able to cause emotion in their opponent, Susano's expression was one of terror.
Hey, Whis, how are you able to heal all of us on the verge of death? What's more is how did Kakarot get all that power?
Answering your first question, Kakarot was able to heal me, which is why I was able to heal you, even while I didn't know where he's able to get all that power from. Susano was very far away, but even if as a simple cockroach, Susano would fall to the planet. That's right, Kakarot executed a heavy technique that would cause him to focus on his enemy, which despite Susano's power wasn't able to do anything against him, crawling like an insect.
This can't be. I was supposed to be the top being. My power surpassing Daishinkan's.
You speak in a loud voice since I'm not able to hear it. What are you muttering?
I don't care about that power since you won't be able to surpass my generation. If you break me in 1,000 pieces, I'll rebuild myself.
That's interesting, since every time I test each of your skills, I hope that you'll be able to endure everything that I'll do to you.
Kakarot, a few centimeters away, would give a loud roar, mixing lightning, which would generate an incredible explosion to observe all over the place. While the smoke dissipated, he was able to see Susano, who on this occasion had large fractures all over his body, regenerating rapidly.
Heh, that's interesting. I'll be able to humiliate you before I end your life.
In the Kingdom of the Whole, Daishinkan with Xeno-Sama were surprised to realize this power of that subject.
Even though Susano only has 10% of his power, or less, it should be enough to finish an angel with ease.
Indeed, who is this guy capable of humiliating him in such a way? Scares me the most is that you've informed me before their life cycle doesn't exceed a century, so even the gods train for millions of years.
I agree with you. Despite training for millions of years, they're not able to overcome their angels. This guy's able to overcome it in a matter of 50 years. It's amazing.
Returning to the battlefield, the entire place was red because the blood of the enemy was spread over the place. Kakarot's aura would grow, changing the place completely.
You definitely possess regeneration, but this time, even though I'll start to suffer from your energy drain.
Even though you have the ability to finish me, now your real hell begins. You should have told me your power is beginning to decrease.
Susano, using his power as well as his bravery, rushed against Kakarot, giving him millions of blows. He wasn't able to generate a single bit of damage. Kakarot held him by his head, destroying in his path, which had led him lying on the ground. Kakarot, with a powerful kick, ripped off his head, making his body fall to the ground.
I know you're still alive. You could regenerate, but look at this.
Kakarot, all over his arm, a great purple-colored energy would pulverize his body, which made Susano panic while regenerating his body quickly.
I have the power beyond the gods, so using destructive energy is easy for me. But with my current power, I have to take it to a new level. I'll be able to end your life completely.
Susano, knowing he'd die, would get on his knees begging for his life. Kakarot would hold him by his hair, giving him a blow to his stomach, completely crossing it.
The blow I've been able to connect with you will end your life completely. It doesn't matter, because right now, I'll end your suffering.
Kakarot would stretch out his hands, expelling destructive energy, pulverizing him, completely leaving nothing of him. Kakarot would come to his friends, but would fall out of combat, being held by the Prince of the Saiyans.
Wow, I'm surprised the power you've been able to get, but I won't let you surpass me. I'll also be able to reach such a state. Whis, heal every one of Kakarot's wounds. If it hadn't been for him, every one of us would have died.
As you ordered, Mr. Beerus. Whis would finish healing Kakarot's wounds, being called the beings of the Kingdom of All, who would observe everything that happened.
Whis, Beerus, approach great Xeno-Sama at this time.
As you order, Father, we'll be going to the Kingdom of Xeno-Sama. Both deities at a great speed left for Xeno-Sama's kingdom, being received by the great priest. Father, how long have I not seen you? Tell me, what is the reason you've requested our presence?
The reason I've requested is due to the incredible warrior in your universe. That power he was able to possess an archangel, which is incredible for a mortal who doesn't exceed the century of training. Whis would explain everything since his battle against Lord Beerus, just as he was able to access the state of a Saiyan God. But despite getting all that power, Beerus with Kakarot was able to defeat Susano, the fallen archangel. From what I understand, that Saiyan was able to be born with the power beyond a god, just like the power of an angel since his power overcame everything.
You're right, Father. The Saiyan of Universe 7 Kakarot possesses a pure heart, so he has no fear, none of the 12 universes.
I have to be able to realize that, but don't worry, because what we really want is to have him, with his incredible power, be able to put much more of a barrier on the seal of the fallen archangels.
I understand. Susano's been able to escape, maybe in the same way the other 5 archangels will be able to get out of that seal.
You're right. 5 warriors with a power that's able to surpass Susano will be able to destroy the entire multiverse.
Indeed, we'll have to ask Kakarot at this time to move towards the planet Earth. Both deities came to the planet Earth. There was a great banquet, to which Kakarot was able to defeat the warrior who almost eliminated the universe. But in the midst of this, the warriors Beerus and Whis would appear. Kakarot, the powerful king of all requests your presence, as well as your help, because the seal contained the 5 warriors even more powerful than Susano's cracked. With your great power, we should be able to contain it for all eternity.
That's unbelievable! Of course I'll help you! Let me get to that kingdom of the all!
The trio of warriors would leave, so instantly, Xeno-Sama would stand in front of Kakarot.
I request your help. I, Xeno-Sama, will grant you power beyond your limits, so you'll be able to seal them completely. I understand. I'll do everything in my power.
Kakarot would access the Super Saiyan 10, making everything around him tremble. Xeno-Sama at the moment would expel a great power, sending it towards Kakarot's body. His muscular would groan in a great way, so Kakarot would stand in front of the seal, releasing all that power, being able to reinforce it, and closing the crack through which Susano was able to escape.
I thank you. You'll be remembered as a legend. No matter the millions of years that pass, you'll be remembered as the Saiyan who eliminated a fallen archangel. Kakarot would return to planet Earth with his friends, enjoying a banquet which would be joined by the deities of Universe 7.
The confrontation between Gohan in his Super Saiyan Phase 3 form and Takagami marked a drastic change in the intensity of the battle. The skies, previously serene, witness of the confrontation, darkened with the energy unleashed by both combatants. And each blow resounded like thunder in the vast and silent cosmic space, defying the tranquility of the stars watching from a distance. The explosions of energy briefly illuminated the darkness, creating a chaotic and majestic spectacle at the same time. The flashes of light and shadow intertwined in a frantic dance that reflected the ferocity of the combat. The shockwaves spread out in the distance, distorting space itself and recalling the magnitude of the power unleashed on that battlefield. Each movement was a ballet of strength and dexterity, with Gohan and Takagami challenging each other in a battle that transcended the physical, entering the realms of the mystical and the epic. Their cries of determination were lost amid the din of battle, but their spirits echoed in every exchange of blows, making it clear that this confrontation was not just for dominance or survival, but for the legacy of their lineages and the protection of their worlds. Gohan, his eyes shining with an indomitable determination, channeled all his power in every movement, leaving a trail of energy that shimmered with a force that defied the limits of the unimaginable. His taut muscles, his golden aura glowing with intensity, made him an unstoppable force that sought justice and protection for all those he loved and defended. "You will not escape my justice, Takagami! My determination's like an unbreakable torrent that'll sweep away any darkness you try to sow. Every blow I throw carries with it the strength of all those I protect and defend. I'll not rest until the truth shines on every shadow you've woven with your deceptions. Get ready to face the justice I bring." Gohan roared with fiery fury, his voice echoing across the battlefield like an echo of the very protective will drive him. Every blow he threw carried with it the emotional burden of years of struggle and sacrifice, the determination of a hero willing to do anything for the well-being of his world and his loved ones. On the other hand, Takagami, with his characteristic agility and calculated cunning, dodged Gohan's attacks with fluid and precise movements. His cold and calculating gaze contrasted with the ferocity of the Saiyan, unveiling an enemy who did not underestimate the threat he faced.
Interesting. I see that the power of the Saiyan pride still burns deep in your being, Gohan, but let me tell you this. However intense it may be, will not be enough to defy the chains of your inevitable fate.
Between each exchange of blows and dodges, the battlefield turned into an epic scenario where two titans collided, not only with their bodies, but with their convictions and purposes. The fate of both was intertwined in a deadly dance where determination, skill, and strength merged in a conflict that transcended the physical and went deep into their warrior souls. The clash of energies was so intense that the Z warriors felt the pressure and overwhelming weight of the unfolding confrontation. The magnitude of the conflict resonated in every corner of the known universe, like an echo of power that transcended planetary barriers and penetrated the very heart of those who were fighting for survival and justice. The fluctuations in ki were palpable, even to those watching from a distance, like a symphony of opposing forces colliding in a chaotic but harmonious dance. Every member of the Z Warriors could feel the electricity in the air, the tension that preceded every strategic move and every heartbreaking blow. The earth trembled under the influence of the unleashed energy, as if the world itself was responding to the duel of titans being waged on its surface. The skies darkened even more, as if the universe itself was holding its breath at the magnificence and terror of that epic contest. In those moments of crisis, the Z Warriors' determination grew even stronger, fueled by the urgency to protect what they loved and to face any adversity with courage and conviction. It was a reminder that during chaos and destruction, the human spirit could shine with an unshakable light. Piccolo, with his strategic mind sharper as a razor, watched every move with meticulous attention. Every gesture, every spark of unleashed energy carried with it the promise of a decisive change during the battle. His intense and serene gaze concealed a precise calculation as he searched for the perfect opportunity to intervene in support of his disciple. Piccolo, with his gaze lost on the horizon as he pondered the situation deeply, added in a calm but determined voice,
Gohan is channeling an incredible power right now. If we manage to amplify their energy and coordinate a joint attack, we could tip the scales in our favor and find the opportunity we need to change the course of this battle.
His mind worked like a meticulous clock, evaluating possibilities and strategies during the chaos that was unleashed in front of him. Meanwhile, at the epicenter of the conflict, Gohan and Takagami continued their titanic duel, each determined to impose their will and determination on the other. Gohan's transformation into Super Saiyan Stage 3 not only gave him enormous strength, but also imposed a demanding tribute in terms of energy and physical endurance. Gohan, his breathing agitated by the effort and intensity of the moment, expressed with determination in his voice between short breaths, "His power! It's overwhelming! But I must stand firm! I can't fail!" Every word resonated with an unwavering commitment as he prepared to face the ordeal ahead of her, his aura glowing with a mixture of exhaustion and relentless resolve. His spirit stood like a burning flame during the storm, braving adversities with a determination that sprang from the core of his being. On the other hand, Takagami, with his arrogant smile and calculated movements, responded to every attack of Gohan with an inordinate confidence in his own dexterity and power. Takagami, with a voice imbued with superiority and a tone that denoted his absolute confidence in his words, defiantly replied,
Admiral, but naive. Your determination's remarkable, Gohan, but you must understand that no force in this universe can change your destiny.
His voice resonated with an assurance that seemed to defy all opposition, marking a gap between confidence in his power and Gohan's will. His self-assurance was impenetrable as the toughest steel, a psychological barrier that defied even the storms of energy roaring around him. The confrontation was coming to a head as the Z Warriors, with a mixture of worry and palpable hope in their hearts, prepared to intervene at the precise moment that could change the course of the battle. Vegeta, with his intense and analytical gaze, watched every flash of power unleashed by Gohan with a mixture of admiration and concern in his eyes. Vegeta, with his analytical and sharp mind, was muttering to himself in a barely audible tone due to the palpable tension in the air.
Gohan's unleashing an incredible power.
His words were a whisper, charged with respect and concern, acknowledging the magnitude of the power that Gohan was unleashing at that critical moment.
But he must maintain control if he wants to survive this,
he added with a seriousness that reflected his experience in past battles and his understanding of the dangers of losing control over so much unleashed energy. Goku, the legendary warrior who knows the limits and beyond, nodded solemnly at Vegeta's words. Goku, with a calmness that radiated experience and wisdom, recognized with respect in his voice, "We know what it's like to fight at the limit, but Gohan's showing exceptional courage that inspires us all." His words resonated with the depth of one who has faced countless challenges, understanding the nature of struggle and the sacrifice it entails. With admiration palpable in his tone, recognizing the courage and determination of his son during adversity, his voice, serene but full of respect, reflected the confidence in Gohan's potential to overcome any obstacle. Meanwhile, the energy flowing through Gohan was reaching its peak, manifesting itself in an impressive visual spectacle. Its golden aura radiated an intense light that illuminated the surrounding space, making even the distant stars seem to pale in comparison. Gohan, with a roar full of determination that echoed throughout the battlefield, exclaimed with fervor, addressed to his father and Vegeta, "Father! Vegeta! All of you! This power is to protect you all!" His voice carried with an emotional charge of his commitment to the protection of his loved ones, a promise that manifested itself in every flash of his glowing aura, and in every blow aimed at the darkness that threatened his world. His voice, echoing like an echo of hope amid the chaos of battle, his energy, instead of just being destructive, became a beacon of hope for his allies, instilling strength and determination in their hearts. The buildup of energy finally reached its peak when Gohan unleashed a combined attack so powerful that it seemed to tear the very fabric of space. The surprise on Takagami's face was palpable, reflecting the magnitude of the force unleashed by the young Saiyan.
Impossible! I can't believe the magnitude of your strength, Gohan! You've unweakened a power that defies all my expectations and strategies so far. But you haven't witnessed everything I can do yet. My abilities are not limited to what you've witnessed so far. And I still have cards to play in this game. Get ready to find out that I'm not as easy an opponent to defeat. The true essence of my power is about to be revealed, and I assure you that it'll surprise you. The battle's only just begun, young Saiyan.
The resulting explosion temporarily blinded everyone present, enveloping the battlefield in a dazzling light that eclipsed even the brightest stars in the firmament. As the luminescence slowly faded away, it revealed an impressive but also disturbing scene. Gohan, still in his Super Saiyan Stage 3 form, was still standing, his figure slender but visibly exhausted at the limit of his strength.
What? Was that enough?
He was panting between short breaths, his eyes reflecting a determination that defied the fatigue that overwhelmed him. But Takagami emerged from the rubble with a defiant smile on his face, was making it clear that the battle was far from over.
You're barely scratching the surface, Gohan. Your power is awesome, but you can't beat the darkness that is hanging over you. Your determination's commendable, but the real battle is beyond what you can imagine. My shadows are deeper, and my power is vaster than you think. Get ready to face the true essence of the dark power.
Gohan's energy was fluctuating, a clear sign that his transformation was reaching its limit. The Z Warriors watched with anxiety and determination as the battle reached a critical point. Victory seemed elusive, but their fighting spirit remained unwavering in the darkness that threatened to devour them all.
No! I can't give up this power! It's to protect everyone! To my family! To the earth!
Each word came out between agitated breaths, but charged with an unwavering determination, revealing the deep sense of responsibility and love that drove their struggle. His voice, though weakened by the effort, resounded with a firmness that defined the adversities he faced.
Oh, what a pathetic nobility! Do you think you can fight my darkness with simple desires for protection? Your strength is impressive, but your naivety condemns you. Don't you understand that in this world, nobility and desires for protection are as fragile as glass in front of the tide? No matter how much power you possess, the darkness will always find a crack through which to infiltrate and corrupt everything you value. It's only a matter of time before you realize the futility of your efforts, Gohan.
Gohan, his aura flickering, braced himself for another assault, feeling every fiber of his being burning with determination. However, the accumulated fatigue and the marked wounds on his skin were beginning to take their toll, weighing like chains on his struggle. Every move was a battle against exhaustion and pain, a test of endurance that tested his courage and perseverance. The vision of Takagami, his implacable enemy, distorted slightly before his fatigued eyes, reflecting not only the tumult of the physical battle, but also the dark and twisted connection Takagami maintained with the source of power that fed him. This connection, like a cursed bond, gave Takagami a ruthless strength, but also dragged him into the maelstrom of corruption and out of control. During the fray, Gohan found himself facing not only a formidable opponent, but also the shadow of an evil influence that threatened to consume everything. Every blow thrown and blocked resonated with the intensity of an epic battle between light and darkness, between the determination of a hero and the seduction of a dark and forbidden power. Despite the adversities and uncertainty that surrounded him, Gohan clung to hope like the beacon in a storm, remembering the bonds of friendship and love that drove him to move forward. Every beat of his heart resonated with the will to protect what he valued most in the world, facing the challenge with courage and sacrifice, knowing that true strength lay in his indomitable spirit and in his determination to never give up in the face of the darkness that threatened his world and soul.
Gohan, don't wear yourself out too much. Stay focused and in control. Remember, the true strength lies not only in raw power, but in the ability to stay calm and think strategically amid chaos. Do not underestimate your opponent, and do not get carried away by blind rage. That determination must be backed by intelligence and control. Make every hit count, and don't get distracted from your goal.
His words, full of advice and warnings, sought to remind Gohan of the importance of the mind in battle, in addition to physical strength.
The Super Saiyan Phase 3 form consumes a lot of energy. Gohan needs to find a balance between his power and his stamina. He must learn to control the flow of his ki to maintain his strength without exhausting himself quickly. The key is efficiency. Every movement must be precisely calculated and executed to maximize the impact without wasting energy. It's a challenge to master this state, but if Gohan manages to find that harmony, his potential will be truly formidable.
His words, full of experience and knowledge, sought to guide Gohan towards a better understanding of how to use his power without compromising his endurance in battle. As Gohan and Takagami continued their confrontation, Goku's eyes, a symbol of hope for everyone, shone with determination during the intense strife. His strategic mind was working at full speed, analyzing every move of his son and enemies to find the perfect crack in Takagami's defense. Every glimmer in his gaze reflects years of training, epic battles, and an unwavering desire to protect those he loved. In the distance, Vegeta stood in a fighting position, his Saiyan pride burning like an unstoppable flame. His defiant aura and combat experience combined into a formidable force, ready to unleash his power at the precise moment. Piccolo, with his calculated serenity, was watching the battle with sharp eyes, ready to strategically intervene and balance the scales in favor of his comrades. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, were in the middle of the recovery process after the intense confrontation against Takagami. Despite their damage received, his determination did not waver. Both focused on channeling their ki with precision, taking advantage of every breath to restore their energies and strengthen their bodies. Goten, with his indomitable spirit and his face marked with determination, closed his eyes with concentration as he felt the flow of vital energy revitalize his fatigued muscles. "We have to be ready to return to the battle at any moment," he thought to himself, remembering the responsibility he shared with his friend Trunks to protect his family and his home. On the other hand, Trunks, with his mind focused and his ki shining with renewed intensity, was striving to reach an optimal state of recovery. "We can't afford to let our guard down," he reflected, aware of the challenges they still faced and the need to be prepared to face any adversity that stood in their way. Both young warriors knew that the battle was not over yet. With determination in their hearts and their ki channeling with precision, they were preparing for the next chapter in their fight for the protection of their world. "Gohan's giving his best. His strength and determination are impressive, but we need to find an opening to channel more energy towards him and empower his power to the fullest. We must all join forces and find a way to support him in this crucial battle. Our connection as a family and as a team is our greatest strength. Let's make every hit and every effort count to protect our home and those we love." His words, full of determination and hope, reflected his confidence in the team's ability to overcome any challenge when working together.
Your resistance is admirable, but useless. My power is absolute. No matter how much they fight, they won't be able to stop me. My strength is unshakable, and my determination relentless. There is no escape from my dominion. It's time for you to give up and accept your fate under my control.
Every word was loaded with arrogance and certainty as Takagami continued to unleash his dark power with ruthless ferocity. Gohan, with a superhuman effort, managed to deflect Takagami's attacks and counterattacked with a burst of brilliant energy. The collision of powers created a shockwave that shook the nearby atmosphere. "I will not allow you to destroy what I love! My bonds and my strength are greater than any darkness you could throw! I'm ready to face any challenge and overcome any obstacle to ensure a secure future for everyone! There will be no place for destruction in my world!"
Your emotions make you weak, Gohan. The real strength lies in the darkness. Your love and your bonds are chains that prevent you from reaching your true potential. Don't you see that the darkness offers unlimited and unrestricted power? Abandon your illusions of grandeur, young Saiyan. Face the truth
that only darkness can bring you true strength and absolute dominion over the world.
Every word was imbued with an icy arrogance and a fanatical belief in the corrupting power of darkness. Takagami sought to sow doubts and weakness in Gohan's mind, challenging his conception of strength and courage. The struggle became more intense with each pressing moment. Gohan, despite showing obvious exhaustion with every short breath, remained firm and undetermined, refusing to back down from the challenge Takagami posed. His eyes reflected an unwavering determination as he faced the malevolent machinations of his enemy. However, Takagami's evil cunning was revealed in all its magnitude when he began to manipulate the environment around him with dark mastery. The dark creatures had summoned with his sinister magic were already at the edge of the surface, ready to emerge and join the battle with uncontrollable ferocity. The air was charged with an ominous presence as the shadows of those creatures danced unexpectedly, eager to join the conflict and show their destructive power. Faced with the imminent threat, the Z Warriors did not hesitate to prepare to face these creatures that represented an unknown but tangible danger. Vegeta, with his characteristic defiant tone, exclaimed as he adjusted his combat posture, "I'll not allow those abominations to ruin our path to victory. It's time to show them the true power of a Saiyan." Piccolo, the group's calm strategist, quickly assessed the situation and proposed a plan of action.
We're facing a cunning enemy who uses manipulation as a weapon. We must act with coordination and precision. Gohan, you now take care of containing the creatures. Vegeta, Goku, keep the pressure on Takagami and don't let him breathe easy.
Goku, with a determined smile on his face, nodded energetically.
We have it, Piccolo. I'm confident that together we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. We're going to give our best.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, who were always looking to prove their bravery, exchanged a look of complacency before joining the plan.
Yes, let's show these monsters what it means to be a real team.
Determination shone in the eyes of each Z warrior as they prepared for the upcoming showdown, their hearts resonating with the memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos's courageous sacrifice. Those moments of heroism and camaraderie resonated like an echo in their souls, reminding them of the price they sometimes had to pay to protect the world they loved. Goku, with a silent bow to his fallen friends, took a moment to remember his valuable lessons of courage and determination.
Our friend showed us that even in the darkest moments, we can find the strength to face any challenge. His sacrifice will not be in vain as long as we keep fighting and keep the flame of hope alive in our hearts. Every blow we take, every obstacle we face is proof of our determination and our commitment to a better future. We'll not let his sacrifice be forgotten. Let's keep fighting with all our heart and spirit.
Vegeta, with an intense gaze fixed on the horizon, added solemnly,
Every battle teaches us something new. We must honor his memory by overcoming our limits, protecting this world, not only for ourselves, but for those who are no longer there.
Piccolo, the serene strategist, reflected on the importance of learning from each experience.
Every battle, every loss, strengthens us and teaches us to be better warriors. Let's move forward with determination and wisdom.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, full of energy and competitive spirit, exchanged a look of respect towards the heroes of the past.
We're going to make their bravery and sacrifice worthwhile. We'll fight with everything we have.
The memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos became a flame that fanned the determination and fighting spirit of the Z Warriors. With their hearts united in a common purpose, they prepared to face the next challenge with the strength of those who came before them, ready to write the next chapter in the history of defending the Earth against the forces of evil. The battle reached unprecedented levels of intensity, with every move unleashing a wave of energy that shook the battlefield. Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, led the charge against the emerging shadows, channeling his ki into powerful explosions that dispelled the creatures one after another. Every flash of light harbored the determination to protect their loved ones and their home from the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Mr. Piccolo, behind you! Watch your back! The enemy's trying to surprise us with sneak attacks! We can't afford to let our guard down for 1 second in this battle! Our togetherness is our greatest strength, and together we'll overcome any challenge that comes our way! I trust in your strategic wisdom, Mr. Piccolo, but I'm also here to support you in every move! Let's move forward with determination and protect what we value with all our might!
Piccolo responded quickly, deflecting the attack with an energy shield.
Thank you, Gohan. Your quick alertness and attention to detail are crucial in this battle. Our coordination and communication are what will keep us one step ahead in the face of our enemies. Let's keep working together. Every move counts in this matchup.
By his side, Piccolo displayed his tactical ingenuity with mastery, drawing lines of defense and counterattack with pinpoint accuracy. His strategies were like chess moves on the battlefield, anticipating the enemy's moves and coordinating attacks to maximize the impact. Between them, an almost perfect synchronicity is woven, where Gohan's brute force found balance at Piccolo's strategic cunning.
Vegeta, get ready for our combined attack! We can't hold any back anymore! It's time to deploy all our power and show them what we're capable of! Together, we're unstoppable, Vegeta! Let's prove once again why we're the most powerful Z warriors in the universe! Let's go!
You don't need to tell me, Kakaroto. I'm always ready for the combat. Our combined power will overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Get ready to witness the true strength of the Saiyan race. Let's go!
Every clash of powers, every rumble of explosions resounded like a chant of resistance, bravery during chaos. The bounds of camaraderie and trust between the Z Warriors were strengthened by adversity, reminding them that together they were more than the sum of their individual abilities. In this ballet of strength and strategy, where each movement had the weight of survival and the hope of a future in which light would prevail over shadows. Vegeta and Goku, in their eternal friendly rivalry forged in countless battles, coordinated their attacks with an almost telepathic synchronization. Like two warriors who share a unique and deep bond, their fiery determination was reflected in every move, every punch, and every burst of energy they threw at their formidable opponent, Takagami.
Goku, it's time to unite our powers to take down this guy once and for all. We'll not allow it to continue sowing chaos and destruction. Our combined strength will be their undoing. Take this, Takagami! This is the end that awaits you for challenging the Z Warriors.
I'm with you, Vegeta. There's no turning back now. Together, we'll put an end to this threat once and for all. Let's get him!
The latter, a formidable adversary in his own right, was forced to quickly divert his attention between dodging the quick and precise strikes of the Saiyans and dealing with the strategic cunning of Gohan and the tactical prowess of Piccolo.
Don't underestimate my powers, Saiyans. My abilities go beyond what you can imagine. Your determination's admirable, but it won't be enough to stop me. Get ready to know the true darkness that resides in this universe.
The frantic dance of attacks and defenses between the protagonists became a ballet of opposing forces, where speed and power merged into an unparalleled combat choreography. Each shock of energy unleashed explosions of ki that lit up the sky like shooting stars on a stormy night, painting the firmament with flashes of power and determination. The battlefield was transformed into an epic scenario where the fates of the combatants were intertwined in a cosmic drama of legendary proportions.
Gohan, now's your time to shine. Use this opportunity to show your true power and determination. We're all counting on you to turn the tide of this battle. Don't hold back. Give your best and make every hit count. The fate of everyone depends on your courage and strength in this crucial moment.
Come on, Dad! Mr. Piccolo! We won't stop until we beat you! Our determination's stronger than ever, and together, we're unstoppable! This is our moment to show that together, we can overcome any obstacle! Let's trust in our bonds and fight with everything we have!
Meanwhile, Gohan's relentless determination and Piccolo's tactical wisdom added layers of complexity to the conflict, consistently challenging Takagami's strategies and moves. The intensity of the confrontation reached its peak, and with each hero and villain deploying their maximum potential in search of victory. Amid the chaos of battle, friendship and honor and inner strength shone as beacons of hope in a universe fraught with unfathomable challenges and dangers. Goten and Trunks, following the meticulous plan laid out by Piccolo to the latter, demonstrated a perfect synchronization that bordered on the supernatural. As young Saiyan warriors, their connection was more than a simple strategic alliance. It was the manifestation of a deep and lasting friendship, forged in countless shared trainings and battles. Every movement, every gesture, flowed between them in an innate harmony that only the strongest bonds could sustain.
Goten, your task is to maintain the defensive perimeter. Don't let anything surprise us from behind. Trunks, look for any opportunity to counterattack. We need to take advantage of every gap in their defense to turn the tide in this battle.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll be attentive and make sure that nothing takes us by surprise.
Following Piccolo's instructions, Goten unleashed bursts of energy with the dexterity and speed typical of the Saiyan lineage.
Come on, Trunks, let's keep the pressure on. Let's not give up and take every opportunity to move forward.
His attacks were precise and forceful, outlining a defensive perimeter around the group with an intensity that left his opponents breathless. Meanwhile, Trunks, a skilled wielder of the energy sword, executed precise and elegant cuts that perfectly complemented Goten's strategic defense.
Don't let any of them through, Goten. Keep our front safe while we look for weaknesses in their formation. Let's keep pushing.
Each movement drew lines of glowing energy in the air, creating a dynamic and effective wall of protection that neutralized any threat that dared to get too close to their companions. The combination of Goten and Trunks' skills not only demonstrated their individual mastery, but also their ability to work in a team in a fluid and coordinated way. Their actions were not only the result of practice and training, but also of a deep mutual understanding that allowed them to anticipate each other's movements with pinpoint accuracy. On the battlefield, the symbiosis was their greatest strength, making them an unstoppable force that courageously and determinedly defended those considered their family and home. The battle that was being fought was a whirlwind of energy and strategy, where every move had a deep meaning, and every decision impacted on the future of the contest. Goten and Trunks, the young Saiyan warriors, showed amazing coordination as they threw themselves into combat with a mixture of bravery and dexterity. His movements were like a martial dance, fluid and precise, designed to unbalance the dark creatures summoned by Takagami.
Trunks, to your right! Understood.
The voices of the young people echoed among the booms of explosions and the clash of powers. Each exchange of blows was a symphony of ki, a manifestation of the determination not to give ground in the face of the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Meanwhile, Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, deployed his ki in explosions of controlled energy, creating glowing spheres that exploded with force on impact against the shadows that rushed over them.
We can't give up! Our world depends on this! Every strike, every strategy, everything counts in this crucial battle! Let's keep fighting until the end!
His voice resonated with conviction, injecting courage into his companions. Piccolo, the calm but ruthless strategist, extended his arms with authority, generating defensive barriers that protected the group from surprise attacks. His eyes observed the battlefield with a calculated calm, evaluating every movement of the enemy to find the precise moment to counterattack.
Keep the pressure constant. We cannot allow them to make up ground. Every breakthrough we make is crucial to maintaining our advantage. Keep attacking relentlessly.
The sound of energy crashes and explosions was deafening, but during the chaos, the group's determination and unity shone like beacons of hope in the darkest night. Each of the Z warriors knew that they were not only fighting for their lives, but for the future of their home and the generations to come. Every attack, every block was another step towards victory or defeat, and they were not willing to give in to adversity. Amid the furious fray, every strategic move and every technique deployed by the Z warriors reflected years of training and experience, as well as a bond of trust and camaraderie that strengthened them in the most difficult moments. The coordination between them was a show of synchronization and dexterity, a chaotic but harmonious dance of attacks and defenses that kept at bay the dark forces that tried to dominate them. However, it was at a crucial moment, when hope seemed to be faltering in the face of Takagami's relentless persistence, that Goku and Vegeta, the legendary Saiyans whose power transcended known limits, demonstrated once again why they were revered as the most powerful warriors in the universe. With millimetric synchronization that only they could achieve after years of training in epic battles, they unleashed a devastating combined attack that shattered Takagami's defenses, leaving them exposed and vulnerable in the face of the final counterattack of the brave defenders of the Earth. The impact of their combined energy resounded on the battlefield like divine thunder, shaking reality itself with its overwhelming power. The energy blasts and shockwaves spread out like a gale, sweeping away any obstacles in their way and marking a decisive turn in the confrontation. The hearts of the Z Warriors swelled with renewed hope as they witnessed the result of the bravery and determination embodied in Goku and Vegeta, who were not only allies but also rivals who raised each other to new heights of power and dexterity. This epic moment not only symbolized the brute strength of the legendary Saiyans, but also the depth of their connection as battle companions and friends. Her self-sacrifice and dedication to protecting her home and loved ones shone with an intensity that defied the shadows of despair. With Takagami vulnerable before them, Earth's heroes prepared for the final assault, determined to put an end to the dark threat looming over their world and restore the lost peace. As this crucial opportunity approached, Gohan and Piccolo, two warriors whose togetherness goes beyond simple camaraderie, combine their powers with synchronization and understanding that only the closest battle partners could achieve. With relentless determination and a strategic focus sharp as the edge of a sword, they faced the creatures summoned by Takagami, with a bravery that inspired everyone present on the battlefield.
Mr. Piccolo, keep the rear guard. I'm going to the front. It is crucial to maintain our formation and protect our backs as we move forward towards the main battle. I trust you to keep us safe from behind.
Understood, Gohan. Don't let your guard down. Our coordination is key for being victorious. Stay alert and move forward with determination. Together we'll overcome this challenge.
Gohan's energy, bright and powerful as the sun as it peaks, was intertwined with Piccolo's tactical cunning and dexterity, creating a symphony of power and skill that defied expectations. Each coordinated movement between them was a masterful combined dance, where offensive and defense intertwined in a lethal harmony. The creatures summoned by Takagami, who once posed a formidable threat, now found themselves at a disadvantage in the face of the unbreakable union of these two exceptional warriors. The battlefield lit up with flashes of brilliant energy as Gohan and Piccolo unleashed their full potential, overcoming every obstacle with steely determination and calculated strategies. The trust between them was palpable, a connection that transcended words and manifested itself in every punch and every block. With each enemy defeated, their path to Takagami cleared, bringing them closer and closer to the final victory they sought to protect their world and their loved ones.
Gohan, you need to buy time. I will prepare my best attack to defeat these creatures. I trust you can keep them busy while I get ready. Together, we can change the course of this battle.
Mr. Piccolo, I'll do my best to buy time. My goal is to keep these creatures at bay as long as possible so I can prepare their attack. Trust me, I won't let you down.
The moment of truth was approaching, and Gohan was advancing with a firm step, while Piccolo prepared his best attack to defeat these creatures summoned by Bahamut's disciple and put an end to the darkness that had threatened his home. His fiery determination was a beacon of hope for those who witnessed his courageous struggle, reminding them that strength lies in the unity and indomitable spirit of those who fight for justice and peace. The critical moment came when every move decided the fate of the battle. Gohan, in a last effort, took his final form. With his bright and determined aura, advanced to the front of the battle line, facing the dark creatures with a mixture of bravery and strategy, as he blocked the onslaughts of the shadows with his dazzling ki. The creatures, summoned by Takagami, were not easy rivals to beat, but Gohan in his ultimate form took a lot of confidence and began to face the creatures they are facing. Gohan knew that keeping the creatures at bay was crucial to allowing Piccolo to unleash his full power, while Gohan struggled to contain the shadows with his fast movements and powerful attacks. Piccolo concentrated his energy preparing for the most powerful technique. The tension on the battlefield was palpable, but there was no room for doubt. Confidence in their abilities and in their partner was the key to facing the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Gohan, keep it up. You're demonstrating exceptional courage and impressive mastery on the battlefield. Every movement of yours is a barrier that prevents the advancement of these creatures. It's crucial that you hold this firmness for a few more moments while I finalize the preparations for my final ultimate technique. I have full confidence in your abilities and determination. Remember that our teamwork is the key to overcoming any challenge. Keep the pressure on and don't let your guard down. Together we can turn the tide of this battle and protect our loved ones.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll not allow them to advance a single step further. You can trust me. I'm fully prepared to take on this responsibility and keep these creatures at bay. Together, we can overcome this and protect our loved ones. My determination's unwavering, and I'll not back down in the face of this challenge, because I know that every stroke I stop here is a step towards victory. Our teamwork and mutual trust will give us the strength to prevail in this battle. Let's show them what we're capable of and write our own destiny in this struggle.
The scene unfolds with increasing intensity as Gohan definitively plunges into the maelstrom of combat. His determination is reflected in every gesture, in every tense muscle, and in every flash of energy that emanates from his being. The creatures summoned by Takagami's nightmarish creatures with twisted shapes and burning eyes fiercely advance towards Gohan, seeking to overwhelm him with their numbers and their uncontrolled fury. Gohan, however, is not daunted. His ki shines around him like an aura of power, marking every movement with a clear purpose. When the first creature lunges with sharp claws, Gohan responds with a precise block, channeling his energy to stop the attack with a glowing barrier. The resulting impact makes the ground tremble under his feet, but Gohan remains steadfast, his eyes fixed on his opponent. Each subsequent blow is an exhibition of martial skill and ki control. Gohan moves with grace and speed, dodging the onslaughts of creatures with fluid movements, and countering with calculated blows. His fists and legs turn into bursts of energy, hitting the enemies with force and precision. Each impact causes bursts of energy that light up the battlefield, drawing bright arcs in the air and kicking up swirls of dust around them. The creatures do not retreat easily. Their resistance is stubborn, and their thirst for destruction is insatiable. Gohan is forced to deploy more advanced techniques, combining his speed and strength with concentrated energy attacks. Ki waves cut through the air as Gohan releases bursts of controlled energy, seeking to weaken his opponents and open gaps in their defenses. Every block, every dodge, is a dance of anticipation and reaction. Gohan relies on his training and his intellect, reading the movements of the creatures, responding with precise movements. Your connection to your spiritual energy is evident in every movement, every pulse of energy emanating from your being. Meanwhile, Piccolo completes the charge of his definitive technique, his absolute concentration palpable in the air. The sound of his pent-up energy resonates on the battlefield, adding a layer of palpable tension to the charged atmosphere of battle. Gohan feels Piccolo's accumulated power as a beacon of hope and a call to redouble his efforts.
This is our chance, Gohan. Keep the pressure on them, and don't give them any respite. Every move of yours is crucial right now, as we are close to changing the course of this battle. I trust in your ability to keep them at bay, while we prepare our counterattack. Keep your determination, and keep going. Together, we can make it happen.
Gohan nods with determination as he prepares for the next attack. The combat dance between Gohan and the creatures reach its climax when Gohan, with a graceful twist, unleashes a series of energy blasts that cut through the enemy ranks. The creatures recoil momentarily, their twisted forms showing signs of weakness for the first time.
Goten! Trunks! I need you to be alert! Mr. Piccolo is preparing a powerful attack! Move quickly and maintain your defenses! Our coordination is crucial at this critical moment of the battle. We can't afford to make mistakes now. I'm confident in your ability to respond quickly and effectively. Stay focused and keep fighting with determination. Come on, we can still turn the tide of this battle in our favor.
The moment came when Gohan, with a precise movement, opened a breach in the creature's defenses, allowing Piccolo to unleash his devastating attack. With a resounding scream, Piccolo releases his ultimate technique, a beam of concentrated energy that cuts through the sky like a fiery comet.
Makasapo!
The pure energy swirls frantically around the lightning, forming a spiral of controlled energy that seems to dance in the air with calculated ferocity. The extreme concentration of energy causes a burst that radiates a dazzling radiance, as if the sun itself were transcending on the battlefield. The energy beam, with its incomparable power, transverses the enemy ranks with pinpoint accuracy, neutralizing the creatures with an amazing efficiency that takes the breath away of those who witness its devastating impact. The initial explosion is only the prelude to the destruction that is unleashed. The torrent of concentrated energy envelops the creatures in a lethal embrace, eroding their forms with an overwhelming intensity. Each wave of energy emanating from the ray is like a chisel, carving out space itself, gradually disintegrating the creatures that meet its path with an inexorable inevitability. The show is both majestic and terrifying, with the energy displayed manifesting in vibrant colors that collide and intertwine in a chaotic dance. The controlled destruction leaves in its wake a trail of disintegration that seems to defy the very laws of physics, demonstrating the supreme power that resides in the hands of those who master the arts of combat and energy control. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the dark threat dissipating with each defeated creature. Gohan and Piccolo, breathing heavily, but with a satisfied smile, met in the center of the battlefield, knowing that their teamwork and determination had tipped the scales toward victory. Now, with the road to Takagami clear, they were preparing for the final assault, confident that their union would return their greatest strength. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the echo of controlled destruction echoing through the air as the enemy creatures vanquished before the combined might of Gohan and Piccolo. The glow of the dissipated energy hinted at the near victory, marked by the determination and teamwork of the brave warriors Z, Gohan, and Piccolo. Breathing heavily but with a smile of satisfaction on their faces, met in the center of the battlefield, exchanging looks of complicity that spoke of a bond forged in battle and camaraderie. Meanwhile, in another part of the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta were facing Takagami in an epic duel that defied the limits of known power. With their faces marked with determination and their eyes shining with a fierce intensity, the two legendary Saiyans demonstrated once again why they were considered the most powerful warriors in the universe. His movements were like a whirlwind of quick attacks and precise defenses, each strike resounding like thunder in the energy-charged air.
Vegeta, keep the pressure on! Let's finish this together!
Of course, Kakarot. I'm not gonna let this guy beat us.
The intensity of their confrontation filled the battlefield, making the ground shake with every energy shock. Takagami, although powerful, was in a challenging position in the face of the unstoppable combination of Goku and Vegeta.
I'll not underestimate your power, Saiyans. I recognize their bravery, but their determination will not be enough to stop me. My strength is unshakable. My power is unstoppable. Get ready to face the real darkness.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.